Maybe I am going overboard with the lettuce, but let me tell you why. These recalls, y'all, if anything gets recalled, it's gonna be lettuce. Done with this. Because I am done with this. Hello everyone, and welcome to Angel's Peaceful Garden. I'm a beginner gardener in gardening zone 8B, and today we're on the inside. We're getting ready to plant my fall seeds. I am so excited for fall, guys. I feel like I might be a little bit late starting my seeds, but we still have 106 days. It is August 7th today, and we still have 106 days until the first frost. So November 20th is coming around the corner, coming very quickly. And so I want to get these started today, and I am going to probably start a few things outside. Yesterday I did direct sow carrots and nasturtiums and marigolds, and I moved some beets and transplanted some beets in. On another video, I'll show y'all that, but it's a little experiment I'm doing. I started some beets in a place where I thought the container might not be big enough, so I moved them. We'll see how they do. I'm very excited to see how they do, y'all. So we're going to get started today with lettuce. We've got arugula, which it's kind of spicy, and I tried it last year. I think I kind of like it, and I don't even like spicy stuff, but just having that different type of flavor profile in the salad mix, it was good. I don't think I'd like to eat it by itself, but mixed in with other lettuces in a salad, it works perfectly fine. Actually, I like it. All of the lettuce is supposed to be sown 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 of an inch. The seeds are not very big, so make sure if you are planting lettuce that you don't plant it too deep, or else it won't germinate. Make sure you're careful about your planting depth and that you read your seed packet. I'm also going to be doing Marvel of 4 Seasons. Marvel of 4 Seasons is really good. It is heat tolerant and cold tolerant. It is a really good loose leaf lettuce that I would like to try over the winter months. I tried it in the summer, but what happened was it was just too hot because the temperature on it doesn't like to germinate over 80 degrees, and it was already over 80 degrees when I tried to grow it. I think once it's started and matured and everything, it would have been fine, but I started it way too late. And this time I'm starting indoors, and in our house, we keep it about 72 degrees. So we should be good with the Marvel of 4 Seasons. Of course, I'm doing Giant Caesar. Giant Caesar did very well for us last fall and winter, and it worked all the way up until December, I believe. So we should get a really good harvest off of Giant Caesar, and my family really enjoyed it. Butter Crunch, same thing. It did very, very well all the way up. I think this one we did all the way up until January when we got the really, really hard freeze. So if you know, here in Texas, in the DFW area, we had ice. We had ice about mid-January. Basically everything died at that point. Even in my greenhouse failed, and it was a mess. I was out in the snow trying to fix my greenhouse, and a lot of things did survive, but I had to reseed all of my lettuce at that point, which is fine. And this year I'll probably just go to indoor garden during January and February and do lettuce inside at that point. Romaine. We absolutely love romaine, and if there's any type of lettuce that is in the in our refrigerator, it will be romaine and iceberg. And the next one is iceberg. I don't have very many seeds left on this iceberg packet, but at this point, you see that I have so many different varieties. I don't think that I need that many of these plants, but we do love iceberg. Gourmet blend. This one is just a mix of different types of lettuce. I feel like maybe I am going overboard with the lettuce, but let me tell you why. These recalls, y'all, if anything gets recalled, it's gonna be lettuce. And you can't have a salad without the lettuce. And if you want to eat it in tacos, if you want to have it for fajita night, whatever you're doing, you're gonna need some greens at some point. So lettuce, I am going overboard with lettuce. My husband is like, why are you going so much? Why you do? Because they always recall lettuce. It's always a problem. So I'm going to start keeping lettuce growing, whether it be inside or on the outside. Lettuce will be being grown somewhere in my inside or outside garden because I'm done with this. Because I am done with this. I like you turn around and it's like, y'all know, I don't want to say it on camera, but that was disgusting and I don't want that to happen to my family. So no sickness over here due to eating raw food and vegetables. Okay. Not at all. Not even one little bit. I do not want that to happen to my family. All right. This is the last one. This is a bib lettuce, and I heard from other YouTubers that this was a really, really nice lettuce to grow. It's flavorful. It's a little bit sweet. And this one does take a little bit longer. It's 75 days to harvest. So I won't put that many in, but I want to try this bib lettuce. And that is all for the lettuce. There are 8 different varieties. 8 different varieties of lettuce that we'll be trying this year. I'm going to try to transplant some more wax beans. These beans did not germinate outside. I think it's just too hot outdoors. I will be trying to plant them indoors and transplant them out. It probably won't even take that long for them to get up to a height where I can transplant them outside, but I am going to try it, see if it works. We're going to try to do celery this year. I have not tried to grow celery yet. This will be my first time trying celery. So we will see. It is 90 to 100 days to harvest, and we have 106 days, like I said, so we'll be right on the cusp. Even then, if it does get to a point where we get a frost, celery is a frost tolerant crop, so we should be okay. And last year we were in the 80s in December, so I think we'll be fine. And we have enough time to get a good harvest off of the celery. I found some comfrey seeds. I put this packet in the refrigerator to cold stratify, and I forgot all about it. I thought I had some, but I was like, what happened to those comfrey seeds? So they were in the refrigerator, cold stratifying, and they had been in there for quite a while, so they should be good now. And I am going to try them indoors because I believe it was too hot to germinate outside when I tried them because they need to be cold stratified. So we're going to try them indoors. The soil temperature needs to be between 60 and 70 degrees. So I think we'll be fine. We're going to do 2 different varieties of broccoli. I'm going to do Sun King. It is a broccoli that can take a little bit of heat, which we need here, because by the time it's coming towards October, it's still pretty warm here. That's when it should be heading. And I don't want to get all the way to October and it still be hot and they go to seed right away. That's what's been happening to my broccoli, and I just want to get a really nice head of broccoli this fall, and I'm hoping that this Sun King will be the variety that'll help us to get there. This is the Waltham 29, and this is another variety of broccoli. It also takes about 75 days, 74 to 75 days to harvest, and it is a heat tolerant variety as well. I know my microclimate. I know the climate here in Texas, and I'm not doing any crops that aren't heat tolerant because I just don't want to waste time on things that are not going to work. Flowers, herbs, vegetables, anything that goes in the garden here has to be heat tolerant. That is the mosquito bits that I added inside of this water. And when I finish this tray, I still have 1, 2, 3 empty cells here and 3 empty cells where the arugula should go. If I find something else, and definitely I have to find that arugula packet, but if I find something else I want to plant, I'll plant it right here in these 3 cells. I'm just going to mist over the top of this tray. And now this tray is complete, and I'm going to start tray number 2. Both of these varieties, Sun King and Waltham, should give us 6 to 8 inch heads. So I'm really looking forward to these. We love broccoli here, and I'm going to do lots of broccoli. I probably will overplant and have some left just in case something happens. And if I have too many, I will be sharing. We're going to be doing 2 different types of cabbage as well. We're going to do the Copenhagen Market Early cabbage, which I think I got this seed from Walmart. And this other cabbage is a golden acre cabbage. Both of these are around 65 to 75 days to harvest. So we have plenty of time to hopefully get a harvest in before the first frost. I really want to try to get most of my fall crops to harvest before the frost date. I don't like the cold, y'all. I really don't. I don't like the cold. So the things that will still be out there will probably be the things I'm overwintering, and not very many of those. Onions. We're gonna overwinter onions and garlic for sure. But outside of those, I think I want to pull my broccoli definitely by December. I want to pull the cabbage by December. Everything will be coming out before January, except for onions and garlic, and like the grapevine and the strawberries, they'll still be out there. But I'm not going to be out covering up and uncovering a lot of things this year. I had quite a big garden all the way through, all year last year. There'll still be things growing out there, but I'm going to mainly come on the inside during those months because I really don't like the cold. Georgia Southern collards, as you know, I already have some plants outside. I'm going to plant more so that I can fill in the beds when I pull out my Nigerian spinach. The spinach that is in place right now will be replaced by these Georgia Southern collards once the weather dips, because the Nigerian spinach does not like it below 60 degrees. It likes it really, really warm. When the nights start getting colder, we'll go ahead and pull out that Nigerian spinach, harvest it all, and put in my Georgia Southern collards. I am going to be careful about how I plant this spinach. I also found out that spinach needs darkness to germinate, so I'm going to cover this one cell. I'm pushing it down about 1/2 inch into the soil. I'm going to put the vermiculite on top as well, but vermiculite does not stop light from getting through, so I will cover it with something, maybe a piece of cardboard or something later on. Our mustards did very, very well last year. We're going to do 2 different types of mustards. I'm going to do this red giant mustard. We're also going to do this Chinese giant leaf mustard. Now, mustards are very good for getting rid of root knot nematodes, and I heard that growing brassicas and mustards before you plant Irish potatoes is very good. So I'm going to be very intentional about where I put the mustards and the collards, because where I pull these out, I'm going to go back in and plant potatoes next spring. So that's a bonus when planting mustards. The last crop that will be going into the first tray is the turnip greens. Now, these turnip greens are 7-top turnip greens, which means that they do not do the turnip, they just grow the greenery. I've wanted to try these for a while because I find that I don't want to pull the leaves off because I want the turnips to grow. But I do want turnip greens. So if you want turnip greens and you don't want to hurt your turnips, this is an option. 7-top turnip. This will be the second tray of seeds that we'll be planting today. We are going to go with a white Lisbon buncheon onion. And I planted these last year. What I found out is that with buncheon onions, it takes like a while for them to get large, just like regular onions. So I was wanting to have these big, beautiful stalks like I was seeing online and on YouTube, but it takes a while. Yeah. So I'm going to plant them now. By next spring, they'll be big and beautiful and pretty. We're going to do more leeks, and this year I'm going to plant them somewhere where they can have enough space, enough depth that we can get a really nice harvest off of these leeks. And we did enjoy the ones that I harvested recently. However, I would like for them to get bigger. So we're going to try the King Richard leeks again this fall. Spinach. We are going to pull out that Nigerian spinach, but this spinach, the Bloomsdale long-standing spinach, and most spinaches you'll find they can't take the heat. So I am definitely going to keep these inside until we get to a point where it's cooler outside, because I don't want these to go to seed. And they will. They definitely will. But I'll be growing spinach inside. And then once it does get cooler, I will bring them outside. I'm going to do red burgundy onions this year. They are a short day variety, which we need to do here in the DFW area. I'm going to be doing some succession sowing on my onions this fall and spring. I'm going to put in this first crop in October, overwinter them, and then come January, February, I'll start looking for some starts, and I will plant those as well. I did have success both ways. I had success with the starts that I purchased as well. So I will be doing that. And I also had success with seeds that I planted. So I know a lot of the issue last year that I had with my onions was that I did not have them in a sunny enough spot during the winter. So I know now that the sun is on the left side of my garden during the winter and not on the right side at all, pretty much. I will be planting a bed of onions, maybe a few bags as well, and they'll go on the left side of the garden. I'm going to do the Texas grano as well. And this one is a yellow onion, which we use lots of yellow onions. So I'll be doing more of these than of the red burgundy onion. And we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I really am encouraged. I think that we can get a way better harvest than we did last year, especially with the starts that I put in January, February. I'm very hopeful though that these that I'm planting from seed and that I am overwintering will do well as well. Texas grano is also a short day onion. If you're looking for a short day onion to plant, this would be one. My daughter bought me these seeds from our local Callaway for my birthday. This is a golden sweet Spanish. This is the only long day onion that I'll be planting because I want to use the seeds that my daughter gave me, and I'm not sure that they'll do well. But I do know that these are another yellow onion, and we eat lots of yellow onions. So either way, even if they come out to be a smaller bulb, still a win. Still a win. We can still use them. I'm going to add a little bit more soil on top of these because they want them a half an inch deep. Just a touch more soil to the very top on these onions. The time that I started outside in the summer, didn't want to germinate. So I'm going to plan some more time because we definitely need to restock, and I don't have any more growing at this point. I may look into also purchasing some starts on some time because we're going into Thanksgiving in a few months. It's going by so fast. I can't even believe I just said that. But I'm going to need time for Thanksgiving, and my husband uses it on our chicken, our baked chicken. So I want to have some time to restock the spices. Now, you guys, let me tell you, last year I learned very quickly doing my indoor garden that I needed to figure out how to get rid of fungus gnats. I do not like fungus gnats. My family doesn't like fungus gnats, but I want to be able to grow indoors. So with that, I had to come up with some ways to deter the fungus gnats when starting my indoor garden, when seed starting, when up potting, all of that. You can cause a lot of fungus gnats by not using just a few things to deter them. Okay. The population will grow very quickly and you'll be overrun, and then you'll just want to give up. And I don't want that to happen to you. So a few months ago, I did put out a video with 5 tips on how to deter fungus gnats. I am not going to go into great detail. If you'd like to go back and see that video, it is available. It's called 5 tips on how to get rid of fungus gnats. But today I'm just going to run through just so that you know how to deter fungus gnats when seed starting. Number 1 is use a sterile soil medium. When you are starting seeds or up potted, whatever you're doing, you need to heat it in some type of way. I boil water and pour the water into the soil medium at least 3 times and let it drain all the way through before I bring it into the house. Some people bake it. I don't want soil in my oven. And so I pour boiling water into it, and that kills a lot of any eggs that might be in the soil from it being packed or wherever it's been. That should sterilize quite well, and that kills a lot of the fungus gnat population right there, just doing that one thing. The next thing on the list is mosquito bits. I use these when I water, and I use them if I do have to spray something. I will put this in a spray bottle and spray with these. And I'll be doing that when I mist on top to deter any fungus gnats that might come through. But I mainly bottom water. And I forgot to tell y'all, I do use the yellow traps as well, just for extra measure. If anything escapes all the other measures that I use to deter the fungus gnats, then we do catch them with that. And when I see where they're coming from, I put that plant out. The second tray is complete. Mosquito bits kill the fungus gnat larvae before they can start to become pests. It kills them within 24 hours. So this is a really good product. If you haven't gotten it and you're getting ready to start your indoor garden, I highly recommend it. Number 3 is vermiculite. I cover my soil medium with vermiculite in order to stop any fungus gnats being able to get into the soil. And by covering it, it keeps it drier. It keeps the moisture on the inside. And so the fungus gnats can't get down into it. And that helps a lot. It helps a lot. Number 4 is I bottom water. Once I see the seedlings poking up and starting to thrive, I start to bottom water, and I don't top water again, because the moisture on top of the soil is what can keep the population going, and you don't want to give them anything. No ends for the fungus gnats. You don't want to give them any way to reproduce. So keeping that soil on the top a little bit drier and the moisture down at the roots where it needs to be, it's going to help you so much. Also, the bottom watering helps to make those roots stronger, which is what you're trying to get, is plants that are healthy and strong by the time you take them outside. And number 5 is, if I do see fungus gnats, that gets thrown away. It gets taken outside right away because I can't do it. I don't like fungus gnats at all, and I don't want to keep them growing. If you'd like a little bit more information about fungus gnats and how to get rid of them, go and check out that video, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you. All right, guys, we have completed planting almost all the crops for the fall garden, even the arugula. I found the arugula packet, so I went ahead and planted that, and that is done. I did just come back from running an errand, and I was looking for pansies. I found some pansies, so those are going to be added into the fall garden, as well as I haven't planted kale. So we know I need my kale. That curly kale I really, really like. Maybe one day I'll try lacinato, but for right now, I really like the curly kale, so I'm going to stay with that one this year for the fall garden. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you and all the ways you support the channel. Please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you'll be notified when I put out new videos. And as always, until I see you next time, may the good Lord take a liking to you.